Ireland's Foreign Minister Simon Coveney accuses the British government of sabre-rattling and sensationalism and warns against undermining the EU's Brexit agreement about Northern Ireland. The Irish government warns of an escalation in the dispute over Northern Ireland's Brexit status. Ireland's Foreign Minister Simon Coveney, as I said, accused the British government of, not only sabre-rattling but also grandstanding. The British had previously threatened to undermine the Northern Ireland Protocol, and according to the protocol, checks at the borders of Northern Ireland and Ireland should be avoided. That means between Great Britain and Ireland directly, in order to prevent conflicts between supporters and opponents of Irish unity. In return, however, a customs border has been created between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. The British government and the Unionist Party DUP therefore fear alienation from London, or pretending that they fear that. However, Brussels strictly refuses to change the protocol. If the British circumvent the protocol, the European Union will see this as a breach of international law, rightly so by the way, and threaten consequences. The dispute over the protocol is currently causing political paralysis in Northern Ireland. In protest against the Brexit rules for Northern Ireland agreed with the EU, the most important party on the Unionist side, the DUP, is refusing to work in the Parliament of the north of the island, and on Friday the DUP refused to elect a Speaker of Parliament. The party also does not want to join a unity government with the Republican Sinn Féin until the dispute has been solved. But it's very funny that they only do this when they are not in first place anymore. Great Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson wanted to travel to the former troubled province yesterday for talks with the various parties. According to the PA news agency, government circles said he would then call on the politicians there to overcome the blockade. It was never his intention to get rid of the protocol. He only advocates reforms but reserves the right to take unilateral steps. That's what the PA reported. Whenever Boris Johnson's government goes to war over the Northern Ireland Protocol, it brandishes a claim like a broadsword, that the protocol is ruining the region's economy. Checks on goods entering Northern Ireland disrupt trade, raise prices and bankrupt businesses, and the damage will worsen unless the protocol is changed. Well, that's how the argument goes. But the Institute of Economic Affairs, the IEA, a right-wing think tank, joined the fray last week with a report estimating the annual cost of the deal at £850 million. The problem with this justification for cutting the protocol and the risk of a trade war with the EU is that it is wrong. Mounting evidence suggests that Northern Ireland has adapted to and is benefiting from its new situation with the benefits of full access to the EU single market and the rest of the UK. And that's offsetting the cost of managing some goods entering the UK and that have to be introduced, but that's not the big problem. The protocol initially cut supply lines but is now cushioning the region from the costs of Brexit, it says. The members have largely dealt with it. That's what MNI estimates the annual costs of conducting protocol-related checks at £200 million. And this is dwarfed by Northern Ireland's extra £1 billion in trade with Ireland and additional trade with other EU countries that has yet to be calculated. And data gives cause for optimism. Manufacturing jobs in Northern Ireland are growing 4 times faster than the UK average. And since mid-2021, the region has seen inflation below the UK average, with 8% cheaper for food, according to Kantar. And a report by the National Institute for Economic and Social Research last week says the Northern Ireland's economic performance has slightly outperformed the UK average. And this would be partly a result of the Northern Ireland Protocol and Northern Ireland's special status in the Brexit arrangements, including better trade and investment terms as part of the EU's internal market and customs union. But there are 2 caveats. One is that the protocol has not been fully implemented. More extensive and stringent checks on British goods entering Northern Ireland would increase costs and disruption, although the EU already made suggestions on that one. The other is that political struggles over the protocol in London, Brussels, and Northern Ireland, where decentralized governments it has collapsed, and this is really damaging the region. And talking about elections we have recently seen in Northern Ireland, I have a little bit to apologize for my performance today, but even if I film this 5 times today, it won't be better because I'm still, because of an election, in a slight hangover today, although I have a group session later on and stuff, but that happens. We had, from my point of view, when I'm filming this, we had state parliament elections yesterday in my home state, which is, by the way, the state in Germany with the highest population. So it's always called a small general election. And we had this yesterday. It was like a crime story a bit. In the state constituency where I'm living and where I was campaigning as the local chairman of my party here in my own constituency for the last 6 weeks and spending a lot of time out there, we had to wait for the final result until into the night, because there was one polling station that didn't finish counting and didn't finish counting and didn't finish counting, and was a very tight race yesterday. Everyone expected a tight race statewide. There, it wasn't that tight. The Christian Democrats won with almost 10% ahead of the Social Democrats, so that wasn't that tight. But it was very tight in the state constituency where I am living. And so even the last 800 ballots from that polling station were decisive for the outcome if our Member of Parliament can stay in Parliament. You might know her already, by the way, in one of the playlists with my old videos, when I did in the beginning of the channel more than just Brexit and UK politics, but I had a complete mix of stuff here. The videos are still there, and if you want to see it, Simone Wendland, which I also this way want to say congratulations again, Simone, for being in the Parliament again for the next 5 years. You can see a video where I made a tour, and recently as an anniversary, I made a post on my community tab where I put in the link to that video again. So if you're interested, it's one of my early videos on this channel, but we had an interview in the state parliament in Düsseldorf, and we made a tour through Parliament. So if you're interested, have a look there, even if it's under today's topics, not from fitting for this channel. But it was my starting time on YouTube. And so we have, of course, celebrated her win yesterday and the win of Hendrik Wüst as our current Prime Minister, who will hopefully stay Prime Minister. And so you hear my voice. You heard how I made this video today. So happens, but that's life. And I just want to give you a small chance to, not by babbling, but still give you a small chance of taking a little bit part of the other voluntary work I do. And so that's why I put a lot in this in the end of this video, and just want to tell you how life as a voluntary politician is. And campaigning is hard, but I'm quite glad it's over, but still a lot of appointment this week in voluntary politics. And I'll see you in my next video, latest tomorrow. Bis gleich.